Well, it's Ron Brown with Learning Chromebooks. Well, another year has gone by. It's December 2022, and lots has happened this past year. I've made a number of videos on all the changes that have occurred in the Chrome operating system. Today I'm going to show you 8 new features that are available in Chrome OS 108, and for those who stick around, I have a little tip at the end for you. This past year, Google has made a change and has decided that the Chrome operating system and the Chrome OS will have the same numbers and come out with an edition each month. So because this is so frequent now with our Chrome operating system, and we're up to Chrome 108 now, there's not a lot of change between each month. The last video I made was Chrome OS 105 and showed you the new features there, but not a lot of new features in Chrome OS 106 or 107. So this is a catch-up. So we have the new features today for you. Please make sure your Chromebook is up to date. You shouldn't have to do anything. Remember, it'll update automatically, but if you are a lid closer, which I've talked about many times before, you might have to sort of do a manual update, or just turn your computer off and on and it'll update to the newest version. So let's have a look and see what's in Chrome OS 108. So the new feature is a security one. When you want to open and close the lid on your Chromebook, you may want to have a password or security device in place when you open the lid up. Let's say, for example, you're playing music at a party and you want to keep the music going, but you're going to be away from your Chromebook. You then want to close the lid. You may not be there for a little while, but you want the music to continue on. You don't want someone to come along and be able to open the lid and see your data. So now you have the ability to, when you open the lid, request a PIN number or password. You can turn this on, and let me show you how that is done now. Okay, on our Chromebook, let me take the mouse and let's come down to the bottom right-hand corner, click on this, and we're going to go to Settings. And here we're going to come down to Privacy and Security. We're going to come up to, this is the new feature here, Lock Screen and Sign In, PIN or Password. We're going to click this, and of course we have to enter our password. And this is not the PIN, this is actually a password to your Google account. We confirm that. And here's where we come on and we see here, lock when sleeping or lid is closed. And I have that, of course, turned on. And when this is turned on, if you close the lid and open the lid, then you'll find that you'll be quizzed as to a password, a PIN. And here you have the options that you can turn this on or off. I will also point out, which we'll talk about at a later time, is a smart lock here, and you can unlock your Chromebook through your phone. This is a very important feature that I would encourage most people to do. It really works well if you have your smartphone with you. One of the problems I found with my Chromebook is oftentimes I'm trying to find files. And often they're all sort of in my downloads directory, and it's hard to sort them all out. Well, now Google has added in the Chrome OS a new feature that you can sort your files by type. Let me show you how this works. Okay, let's bring up our file manager on my Chromebook. And here you'll see, of course, we have my downloads directory where a lot of my folders are located. If we come up to the top left, you'll now see this Recent button here. Let's click Recent. And what you'll see that they've added is audio, documents, images, and videos. So if you just uploaded some documents like I did today, we'll click Documents, and here you'll see the PDF file that I just uploaded today, any audio files, images, or of course videos. So this is a very helpful feature for you. It's just right here. You just click Recent, and it will now bring up all the documents, which will make things a lot easier to find. As we move forward with the Chrome operating system, I would encourage you to look at the feature called multiple desktops. I'll show you this in a minute, but this is a great productivity feature. It allows you to save your desktop with all your files that you want or programs, and then open a second desktop which is fresh, and you don't actually have to have all those programs open, and you can open specific programs to specific applications. It's a great feature. I've been using it for a while now, and the current OS supports 8 desktops, but it's moving quickly to 16 desktops that you can have open. The feature I want you to show you today is a new one, and you can now save these desktops, so when you get out of them and close, they don't all go away. So let me show you this new feature. Okay, we're back at my Chromebook now. I'm going to hit the overview button, and that's going to, of course, bring me up into multiple desktops. And here you'll see I have my home desktop. I have a test desktop, and I have some more test ones here. And again, we could move on and have 8. We just click this and it will add a new desktop. Now, what is new is this button over here to the left, and this is Save Desk for Later. So for example, for my home, which is this one, if I have, of course, my Gmail open, and I always want this to be opened when I have that desktop open, I can simply click this button now and say Save for later. And it says, of course, Linux apps aren't supported. Other apps may be saved. I do have Linux loaded on this machine, but you normally would not get that. We're going to say Save anyway, and that now is saved for later. I'm not going to reboot this and show you again, but if you come back after you reboot it and you hit the overview, it would be brought right back to that desktop. A new feature for Chrome OS 108. One of the great features of your Chromebook is the customization of your screen. And Chrome OS 108 isn't going to disappoint you. It's brought out a whole bunch of new wallpaper for you. Let me show you some examples. All right, we're now on my Chromebook. You see my mouse here. I'm going to right click and we're going to set wallpaper. And here we come along, and you'll see we have, of course, some screensaver. We can set that, but today I'm going to show you on the wallpaper. And if we click this, we now have a wide variety of wallpapers that you can choose. Let's look at Native American artists. There's 20 images here that you can choose. Unbelievable. All sorts of great images that you can choose as a wallpaper. You can have this change daily by clicking this here. Let's go back and have a look at some more. See, these are, of course, for children. Some great wallpaper that we can have for our Chromebook. So have a look at this and explore this. You can have these change daily. You'll have lots of fun with them. And a lot of these are new that just added for Chrome OS 108. New feature for Chrome OS 108. If you use your Chromebook as a tablet, in other words, it flips back onto itself and you now have a tablet, the virtual keyboard has improved. It has a new feature where you can long press one of the characters and get different options. This is really cool and will make it much easier for you to use if you use your Chromebook as a tablet. If it folds back on itself, I would encourage you to try it. It's a lot of fun and it works very well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now what you can't see is my Chromebook is folded back on itself and is in tablet mode. Here I've brought up my Docs app, and we're going to add a new document. And here we have a new document that I'm going to type into. So since I don't have a keyboard, I'll be using the virtual keyboard. So when I go to enter and I tap on the screen, this brings up my virtual keyboard. Now, if I took the word E, or letter E, and I held this and long pressed it down, you'll see that there's some options I can have. I certainly could use the letter 3, or there are different forms of E that I can choose. And I can just choose whichever one that I want. In that case, I chose 3. But you have your option of choosing any of these other ones as well. And this goes along on all the keys on your virtual keyboard, so you don't have to do the shift enter to bring up the caps or any of the other numeric keyboards. This is all sort of incorporated with just a long press on that letter. This makes it very easy to use. New feature for Chrome OS 108. So Chrome OS 108 has a dedicated scanner app now for your scanning needs. Many of you have standalone printers that you either print with or like to scan. So now you have the option of having your own scanning app on your Chromebook for that printer. So let me show you how this works. It works really well. You now can just take this scanning app, put it on the shelf, and whenever you want to scan from your printer, just click it and it will easily scan right from your printer. Let me show you how this works. All right, let's look at how this might work. You'll see I'm on my desktop now. I'm going to come down to the launcher, which is a little button to the left here. We're going to click this, and you'll see that we're going to try and find the scanning app. So in the search bar, we're going to type scanner. Click this. And now it's looking for scanners. And you are ready to go. You'll see that this is, you can choose the scanner. And this is the options that I have for printers that I have connected. And then you just hit scan and it will start scanning. Now there is a scanning app. Let's come back to the launcher and let's come down to scan. And you'll see the scanning app is right here. Let's just drag it down onto the Chromebook, and now it's on our shelf on our Chromebook. So whenever we want to scan, we can just click this and it will scan. So this connects, this is the scanning app for your printer, new in Chrome OS 108. A new feature that just came out in Chrome OS 108 is the ability to scan with your camera app into a PDF. Yes, you could do that before, but this is where you can scan multiple pages into a single PDF file. This is pretty cool. I find it very awkward to hold a document up in front of my Chromebook and try and scan the thing in. I don't really see this being a huge, this whole scanning thing being a huge advantage with the Chromebook. It's so much easier to use your smartphone and the scanning app on it to scan into whatever service you want. However, I'm going to try and show you this, so let's have a look at it, okay? Okay, let's come over to my Chromebook now, and as we come down, you'll see I have my camera app sitting right on my shelf. So I'm going to click this, and this is, of course, going to bring this up. And at the hi everybody, you'll see my green screen here and my and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the scanning app. So I'm going to click scan, and we're going to see document or QR code. You can also scan a QR code if you want to read it, but we're going to do a document, and the document that I'm going to scan is going to be, I have a little instruction thing on a device that I just bought, and I'm going to try and scan this in. It comes on 2 pages, so we'll do front and back and see how this works. Okay, so let me. I'm going to click scan here, and as I click scan, it's going to the edges around the document are going to form, and then I'm going to click the button over on the right side. We're going to start the scan. There we go. Now you see. So we're going to come down here over to the left, and we're going to add a page. And now we're back again, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to hold it over here until those little blue lines are around it. And then we're going to click this again, and it's processing the image. Now, if you come down on the right-hand side, you'll see it says Save as PDF. So I'm going to click this, and now it's going to save the document as a PDF. We're going to click this, and we're going to go to the library, and we're going to see this document. And here's the document. But as you see, it has both images in it. So we've now scanned. Both images, and that's a new feature. And you can add multiple pages in the scanner by simply clicking the plus button at the bottom left there, as I showed you, and then taking another picture. And that's the scanner. Let's go back one more time. Here we are, and you'll see it. Now, if you look at the bottom, you can also do a video. You know, you can record a video as well, which is sort of cool. You can take a selfie, which is a photo. And one of the long-awaited features has been the trash can. Yes, we now have a trash can. Yes, we're just like all the other software programs in the whole world. We have a trash can on the Chromebook in the Files menu. A trash can, a trash can. I'm so excited. Let me show you. Okay, let's come over to my Chromebook again, and we're going to come down to our Files menu, Files app here, and we're going to bring this up. And guess what? Here it is. We have a trash can, yes, and your files will be here for 30 days before they're emptied. So if you do put something in the trash, you can recover it. So let's come up. Let's do the recents thing. There's a recent. And let's go to Documents. And here's the document that I just made, right? This is the one that I just did for you on the scanning. Let's just drag this over into the trash can. There we go. It's now gone. It's in the trash can. If we click on this, you can see that the file is in the trash can. And you have 30 days to recover the file. If you then say, I want to recover this, you can simply restore this item or drag it to a new folder outside the trash. I'm going to hit restore, and you'll see that it took it out of there. If you come up, files in the trash will be files in the trash for more than 30 days will automatically be deleted. And if you want to empty the trash, then you can delete forever, and the files are gone. We have a trash can. I am so excited. Chrome OS 108. All right, let me show you one final feature that you can have some fun with. This is a web page that I have up. It's about Apple reveals a new tag, AirTag feature. And let's say I want to send this to Huey or mark it up or send him a note. Let's have some fun with this. So this is just a website that I have open. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to come over to our screen capture that is constantly being improved this year, as I've told you in the past. We're going to click this, and now you'll see at the bottom we've got a picture, we've got a video, but I'm going to go with the picture, and we're going to also on this. I'm going to click this just to make sure that the image scan is here. That's clicked off. We don't need the camera, and this should be all correctly done. And let me just click this, and that's going to take a picture of that for us. All right. Now it's copied to the clipboard, and of course it'll save it in your downloads directory. But I want to come over here and let's just edit it. Okay. I'm going to click edit, and this brings this up. And we're going to come up, and I want to just show you. Suppose I want to sort of say to Huey, hey, do you want to read this? So we're going to come across the top here, and there's a number of things we can do with this. We can certainly make it a little bit bigger. We could certainly crop it, so we don't need this part here. So we could do that. And the other thing we can do is let's click this button, and we can mark this up. So I'm going to take the color here. And I'm going to sort of just circle this here and sort of maybe sort of make a note here. And let's say I want to also have Huey look down here at this sentence here, okay? So I can mark this up, and I could say, you know, in the Huey. I could write a note as well here. And then as we come up, I wanted to show you is that we can come over here. And now what we can do is we can now come over here. We can, of course, email this. And this will bring the document up. Here's the document with our edits in it, and I'm going to send it over to Huey. And that is that's sort of fun that we can take an image, mark it up, and send it off. So have some fun with your Chromebook. Lots of things to learn. Ron Brown with Learning Chromebooks, 8 new features in Chrome OS 108. Enjoy your Chromebook, and until we see you again, have a great day.
Interesting. I didn't know some of those things. And the scanner on my printer doesn't work. I have it's got to be at least 10-year-old printer. And the scan it, and when I looked it up on the Brother website, it did say that that's one it will not work with. So it doesn't work with every printer. All right. You ready for mine? You're muted, Ron.
Why don't we get going with your, I mean, it's 1/2 the hour. Why don't we do yours, then we'll leave the questions.
And then go to the questions, because I know we have interesting ones that I'd like to answer.
Questions that anything on my presentation that I did? Obviously, you might want to go back and look at it again, and it'll be up. This will be out probably later on today. We'll have it available for you to play again, because there's
I see 2 questions. Bill has a quick question about the keyboard, so we can save that till later. But Ruby Gottlieb asked, can the scanning just be done on a Chromebook, or can you do it in Chrome on a desktop? Chrome on the desktop is the browser.
Right.
That's not the operating system. So I would say that answer is probably no.
Right. You'd have a scanning app on your desktop that would go with your printer, which would be fine. But that's not the case on a Chromebook. And scanning was always difficult. And so this is nice because you have your own scanning app now. And that should be there. And with Chrome OS 108, you don't have to do anything. You should just go to your go into your apps there, and you should find the scanning app. And I would just drag it down onto the shelf so it's always there for you.
Okay.
Excellent. One more quick question, Huey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bill asked, does that new trash can feature only work online, or can you recover the file offline? If the file is stored on your Chromebook, yes, you can recover it.
Right.
Files are located. There are files located on the hard drive of your Chromebook.
Right.
And if you're working with, let's say, Drive, and you have enabled that file to be viewed offline, yes, you'll be able to see it. But the ones that are stored in the cloud, no. Thank you, Huey.
Thank you. The Chrome OS. A Year in a Review, 2022. I'm Huey Poplock. Google was busy adding many new features to Chrome OS in 2022, but overall it made Chromebooks much more appealing. 2022 was a busy year of updates for the world's most popular operating systems. You might have already known that Microsoft released Windows 11 2022 H2, and Apple pushed out Mac OS Ventura. But you can't forget about Google's Chrome OS, which is used in many schools and homes on some of the best Chromebooks. Over the past year, Google released 12 different updates to Chrome OS, and through most of them, Google focused on adding new features to Chromebooks. There were some great, huge additions like support for playing Steam games or cloud gaming, while others worked to refine the Chrome OS features. Regardless, the theme of 2022 was that Chromebooks became fun to use. The year started with the Google releasing Chrome OS 97. It wasn't huge, but it did start things off with a bang. Chrome OS 97 moved Chrome OS over to a 4-week update schedule from a 6-week one, matching what Google was already doing with the Chrome web browser. Google mentioned this new cycle helped boost The Chrome OS pillars: security, stability, speed, and simplicity. In the long run, though, it meant more new features and more constant updates for Chromebooks. Some of the smaller features in Chrome OS 97 included the ability to open and edit photos in multiple windows so you could compare and contrast images, along with the redesign of the audio player to include cover art. Google even added an offline grammar check tool. Chrome OS 97 kicked off the cycle with more frequent updates for Chromebooks. Google also updated Assistant on Chromebook so it can be used to open the camera and capture photos or videos. These are mostly smaller tweaks, but it set up what would be coming over the rest of the year. After promising a 4-week update cycle, Google released Chrome OS 98 and 99 in February and March. These updates tweaked many commonly used parts of Chrome OS. Chrome OS 98 delivered new emoji and virtual desk shortcuts to open spaces. It also allowed you to change where screen captures were saved and had a flag for a full-on dark mode to the Files app. Since this was the penultimate update before the big 100, Chrome OS 99 was quite small. It delivered 4 new tweaks. On Chrome OS tablets, there was improved palm rejection support. It also became possible to drag a window to the top of the screen to create a new desk in virtual desks. The final 2 features in this release tweaked Nearby Share and the Camera app. With Nearby Share, your Chromebook could now scan in the background to find somebody nearby for sharing. And with the Camera app, you got a new fun mode that let you turn a 5-second video into a shareable GIF. These were all just the lead up to the first update of the year. Between those 2 releases, Google's Chrome OS took the world by surprise in the middle of February. The company announced Chrome OS Flex, a new free-to-use version of Chrome OS for PCs and Macs. Chrome OS Flex was built for businesses and schools, helping to turn existing, often end-of-support and end-of-life hardware into Chromebooks. It's the same base experience and update schedule as regular Chrome OS, but without features like Android apps and the Google Play Store. Chrome OS Flex's core values includes a fast work experience, security against the latest threats, ease of deployment and management, and sustainability, since you can maximize the lifetime of a PC or Mac. And be sure to see my video introduction to Chrome OS Flex on YouTube. Chrome OS got its 100th major release in March 2022, and it was a big one. Chrome OS 100 delivered a new launcher, replacing the old full-screen experience with a new Start menu-like launcher on the left of the screen. The new design left more space for open windows and apps, allowed for better app folders and organization, and showed more information when searching Google. It also integrated with open tabs so you could find what you have open in Chrome. Other features in Chrome OS 100 included the ability to edit spoken words when using the voice dictation and allowed parents to manage kids' school accounts through Family Link. This second feature made it even easier for parents to take control of their kids' learning. And yes, Chrome OS 100 added that sleek new logo for Google Chrome. You might remember it. It's more saturated with fewer shadows and a bigger blue dot in the middle. This led the way to a rebrand, which Google would put into place with the next update. In the spring, things really bloomed. Google followed up the Big 100 with 3 huge releases that delivered a rebrand, new system alerts, and new apps. With Chrome OS 101, Google changed the Chrome OS branding to a more simplistic Chrome OS. This was the most noticeable on the Chromebook boot screen, which became a black background with a white Chrome OS logo. The release added support for network-based recover, so IT admins got another new way to push fresh versions of the Chrome OS to devices. Smaller tweaks included disabling pan and zoom in the cursive app and a new firmware update menu for peripherals, giving you a better idea of when your accessories are updating. Chrome OS 102, meanwhile, added the Google Cursive as a default note-taking app for more Chromebook models. It pre-installed the app on most Chromebooks that have a stylus. Elsewhere, the docked magnifier got tweaks for controlling the size of the magnified portion of your screen. More importantly, Chrome OS 102 added new alerts for USB-C cables that might not properly support connecting to displays. And capping things out was the new ability to extract zip files without mounting them first, bringing Chrome OS closer in behavior to Mac OS and Windows. The feature delivery continued with Chrome OS 103. The phone hub picked up the ability for you to see your Android phone camera roll, making photo transfers even easier. Google also added new screencast app that made it easier for students and teachers to draw and highlight on their screen and see a transcript when doing a screen recording. And finally, Nearby Share on Chromebooks picked up the ability to receive Wi-Fi credentials from Android, making connecting to networks even easier. When summer came around, things heat up in the Chrome OS world. Chrome OS Flex came out of beta and launched to a wider audience. Google certified more than 300 devices to run the operating system at launch. Though some people saw it as a small thing, Google also announced a new video editor for the Photos app in Chrome OS in late July. This wasn't meant to be a professional video editor by any means, but it was similar to the video editor in Windows 11's Photos app. It was later released in the fall, and it meant you could now create quick movies out of photos and videos, add music, adjust the brightness of clips, and share fun clips with just a few taps. In late summer and early fall, Google pushed even more new features to Chrome OS. Chrome OS 104 delivered a new themes settings, while Chrome OS 105 added new keyboard game controls for Android games. Chrome OS 104 was definitely the most interesting late summer release. It added light and dark mode settings and tweaked the personalization area so either one could be set manually or automatically. This area also got a new wallpaper picker with the new options to choose your personal photos from Google Photos and the ability to set a screensaver from those photos too. Perhaps more importantly, Chrome OS 104 added a pop-up calendar helping you peep at the date more easily. And over in the gallery, it became possible to open PDFs with the app. Even the launcher got a tweak so you can look for Google Play apps more easily. Chrome 105 set a later theme for gaming in Chrome OS. It became possible to control and enjoy more Android games with your Chromebook keyboard. You can now get an overlay showing the keys to simulate the various touches on the screen with your keyboard. Google came up with this feature because it found that most Chrome OS users interact with apps using a mouse and keyboard. The last early fall release, Chrome OS 106, wasn't that major. It came in September and didn't even have any major new features. Ahead of the annual hardware cycle known as Techtober, Google surprised Chromebook fans with something special. The company partnered with leading Chromebook makers like Acer, Lenovo, and Asus on the new cloud gaming Chromebooks that sport fantastic hardware like fast refresh rate displays, 12th generation Intel chips, and RGB keyboards. But what mattered most was the Chrome OS integration with cloud streaming services. Google partnered with NVIDIA, Xbox, and Amazon Luna to bring their cloud gaming services over to Chrome OS, along with these new devices as web apps. It also became possible to find your favorite NVIDIA, GeForce Now, and Google Play games via the Chrome OS launcher. Other than that, popular gaming accessories from Acer, Corsair, HyperX, and SteelSeries picked up Chrome OS support via the Works with Chromebook program. Chromebook OS web apps for these accessory control centers are also in the works. To end the year, Google attempted to silence the Chromebook critics. There were two things that many complained about regarding Chromebooks. They didn't work for gaming or video editing. Well, the company released Steam in beta, and its partner LumaFusion launched an Android video editor that works in Chrome OS. More specifically, Steam came to the Chrome OS beta channel after months of being available on the Chrome OS dev. This made Steam gaming on Chromebooks more available to a wider audience and on more Chromebook models without the risk of huge bugs. Video editing and gaming finally became possible on Chromebooks in 2022. With that video editor, LumaFusion hit beta status on Android in early November via an early access program. Similar to the iOS version, you can use touch controls and add titles, transitions, and other professional video effects to videos, now all on a Chromebook. Although LumaFusion and Steam on a Chrome OS are two of the biggest features that Google rolled out at the end of the year, there were also Chrome OS versions 107 and 108, which delivered some long-needed tweaks to the operating system for the Files app and desk features. In Chrome 107, Google tweaked the Files app with new Recents tab to filter between different document types like audio, video, and documents. There was also a new option to close an entire virtual desk while saving the apps and windows in the layout. Thanks to this release, you even got a new option to merge a desk with one next to it with one click. And for those who use Chromebooks in clamshell mode, Chrome OS 107 added support for locking a device when the lid closes, but without suspending your current session. The final Chrome OS version of the year, Chrome OS 108, tweaked the Files app to add a trash can so you won't accidentally delete your important files. And over with the virtual keyboard, it added a new header bar so you can more easily choose emoji and open the handwriting tool. It's great that Google spent the year tweaking the operating system. Not only did we get fun new features like Steam on Chromebooks, cloud gaming, as well as LumaFusion, but the smaller features in the Google operating system also were improved. That includes things like Files app, the date and time area in the system tray, tweaks to desks, and even the audio player. 2023 could become an even bigger year for Chrome OS and Chromebook. We are really looking forward to the many rumored changes to the Google operating system. A big visual redesign with the Google's Material You design language, a new GIF chooser in the Chrome OS emoji selection tool, and performance tweaks like a battery saver mode and efficiency mode, are just 3 things we're looking out for. We're also looking forward to the rest of the steam-powered Chromebooks to be released, along with what's next for Google and cloud gaming. Regardless, Google showed in 2022 that it's dedicated to supporting Chrome OS for the foreseeable future. Our thanks to Arif Bacchus at xdadevelopers.com. This has been Chrome OS 2022 in review. I'm Huey Poplock. Been a big year.
Yeah. Lots of stuff there, right?
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Couple of questions Bill's got a question about the keyboard layout. Karen would like to know how to make the home key that is missing from the keyboard. Is there a way to create a shortcut key for that? I happen to have a 17-inch Chromebook. So I have the key, I have the number pad, and I have a home and page up, page down key. I also have a delete key, a backspace key, and I mean, it's more like a standard keyboard, other than, of course, the launcher, I can't even remember what they call that, the little circle on the thing that launches everything. So guys, do you know a way to create a shortcut, a keyboard shortcut that would do that?
It's built in. It's built into it. I'll show you here. Let me just find it. Keep talking and I'll find it.
Okay, I'll go on to the next one. Barbara, is it Cronmal? She has a Chromebook, an Acer 15 that stopped being supported last June. How long can she keep using it safely, security-wise?
Good question. She can keep using it, but the safely is just be careful where you go and what you do. It still could be vulnerable, but of course, if you don't update things, but you're very careful, you should be okay.
For a year, for 2 years, for...
Yeah, I would say at least a year without any problems, and maybe longer, but you still got to be careful. And the fact that they're now most of them are 7 or 8 years, it might be time to look for a new one.
Square with 2 lines to the right. Over.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, sorry.
Mike is
we were unmuted.
Yeah.
But and so yeah, I would also, and as Ron was saying, with the pricing and the specials on right now, it doesn't hurt to get a new one.
Yeah.
But Barbara, does that help you at all? Can't see where she is, or if she's still here. Maybe she's not.
No, yes, I'm here. Thanks.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am looking. I just don't know. I don't know enough I can get help doing that. So this will be the year that I get the new stuff.
Yeah, but you should be okay as long as you're careful in the places that if you're going to the same places that you always have, but if you start investigating new territory, you might run into trouble. So
by places, you mean locations or places on
the web when you go to visit websites?
Okay, that's how beginner I am. I didn't know
that's
what
okay.
you meant my coffee shop.
Yeah, I've been doing this since 1982. Joined our local computer club in 1991, and I do not believe there is any such thing as a stupid computer question. It has everything to do with experience and your interest in learning how to. And I think that's what's most important. So the fact that you're still learning, hey, awesome. Doesn't matter where you start or when you start.
We're still learning. We learn every day, right, Ron?
Amen.
It is. It is.
I was at the computer club this morning, happened to have a guy come in with a Yahoo issue. He uses Yahoo Mail, and he had inadvertently blocked 2 people. And I Googled it and figured out how to get into the settings in Yahoo, and we unblocked the 2 people he'd blocked in his email, and he went home very happy. But I didn't know what I was doing until I actually sat down and Googled it. So there's options.
So, Jolyn, just to follow up on your question that you asked
Yes,
me about the
yes.
keyboard,
Keyboard tip.
you can remap the keys on a keyboard, and you can change the function of the keyboard to a different function. And I did a whole video on that, so it is up on YouTube. There is a video about that. I just can't find the option in Chrome OS 108, which I have on my
Right.
Chromebook. So I don't know if they did away with that option. If it's still there, I just can't find it. I can't remember. So you'll have to do a little looking on that. Now, I would caution you before you do that, because one of the problems I had when I remapped my keyboard, because you can change on certain keys, you can change the function of those keys. Then the problem is on a lot of these apps that are written for Chromebooks, they don't work. You're hitting the wrong key and it'll take you and do the wrong thing. So you have to be careful with that. I found it more annoying to change it rather than just learning the key commands. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that because I can't just find it. So maybe it's not there anymore, or I just can't remember where it is. I don't know which one that is.
I would recommend that anybody going to purchase a new Chromebook, if you can, go to your Best Buy or your Staples or your whatever store you can go into to see the Chromebook and look at the keyboard. And if you can't go to a store, be sure you look at the images of that Chromebook online when you are researching it. Make sure it has the keys you want, because a Chromebook keyboard is different. One of the things that I hadn't realized, but it was brought up at the computer club, it doesn't have capital letters on the keyboard like most other keyboards do. Like a Windows keyboard, all the letters are capitalized, but they still type lowercase. But on a Chromebook, which I happen to have over here, on the Chromebook, it's all lowercase keys noted on the keyboard. And I went looking for that answer, and you can't get you cannot at this point get a Chromebook with with capital letters indicated on the keyboard. So there's little things so the keyboard on that is different. Take a look. Take a look when you're ready to buy one and research.
I love it. It
Go ahead.
decorates the house. It's nice.
We gave the bunny out there a red ribbon.
Hi,
Oh.
Richard. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
The other one that I'd like to say is
Oh.
that before we get to Bill H's question is when you go to purchase a Chromebook, I'd stay away from the really cheap Chromebooks. Don't get a $200 Chromebook. You won't be happy with it, and what'll happen is that the resolution on the screen is usually poor, and you won't be happy with your purchase. I think probably a reasonable price to pay for a Chromebook today in today's market is somewhere between $400 or $500, and you'll get a great machine that'll do everything you need to do. And I agree with Jolyn. There's lots of these now at Best Buy. Go down and actually look at them before you buy them. Play around with them. Costco, if you buy it at Costco, you take it home, try it, and you bring it back if you don't like it, right? So I mean,
I actually recommend that even if you're going to any computer that you're going to look at, go
Right.
and if you can, go and touchy-feely.
Right.
Get on, use the keyboard that comes with it. If it's a laptop or if it's a desktop, you can always buy a new keyboard for a desktop.
Right.
But okay, thank you.
Bill H, go ahead.
Yes, since you started talking about this, I tried my external Microsoft ergonomic keyboard, and the home key works fine with it. So it is available, but maybe not to reprogram the keyboard as such. And I agree with you, Ron. I had to reassign keys for a Russian fellow one time, and there's not enough keys on the American keyboard to duplicate a Russian keyboard.
Yeah.
So that was a real challenge, and we got it done, and he was happy with it, but it took some late nights to figure it out.
Right.
So the external keyboard will give you the home key function.
Excellent.
Right.
Good thought. And again, the larger now, granted, I have I guess it's a 15-inch, not a 17-inch, but still, it has the number pad that I use all the time. So for me, it was worth getting the larger one. So, Miss Dorothy.
Dorothy, go ahead.
Oh, hi there. I had two things. Since the latest OS update on the Chromebook, I'm finding it's always rebooting quite often, and it never did that before. Has anyone else had that problem?
I have not.
I
I have not. That sounds like a memory issue. I wonder, but I don't think that would be,
Yeah, it
I
used
don't
to
see
be fine
why
now.
that would be.
What brand is it?
HP.
I would go online and do a search, even at HP support,
Okay,
and see if
thanks.
other people are having that. Either Google it I would Google it first, and then eventually I'd end up at the HP site and going to support and seeing if anybody else is having that issue.
Okay, thanks. And my second question is, I notice a lot of Chromebooks on sale at Costco. And I take pictures of them to get the model numbers, but do you have the website where you go to see the lifespan? Because I'm assuming when they're on sale, there isn't a long lifespan.
That's
Right.
it. Google, it's a Google site. So if you just do a search in Google for the end of life, what do they call it? They have a phrase for it, but end of life AUE.
Okay,
If you look for AUE Chromebooks, it should take you to the
Here
Google
we go.
page.
Right.
thank
It's
you.
pretty easy to find, Dorothy. It's real easy to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, a few
Just because I
questions from the,
can.
yeah, a few questions
Oh,
from the
remap.
chat. Let's see. Joe asked how to enable the virtual desktops. Ron, that's a question for you because you talked about it today.
So just hit the overview button and you'll see that, which is the F5, I guess, depending on what keyboard you're using, but it's the overview. Just hit the overview button and you'll see your virtual desktops there. You know, the virtual desktop icon will be there, and you can just hit the plus and add them up to, I think add up to 8 virtual desktops.
Yeah, then Irving asks, can you use a non-wireless printer with the Chromebook? Absolutely. In fact, if you have trouble with a wireless printer, the suggestion is to wire it. And you just get a standard printer cable and plug it into a USB port. You might need one of those extenders to have enough ports, but you should be able to do it very easily.
Yeah.
Jim Gould says, get a Bluetooth keyboard or USB so you can get a different keyboard if you want. And let's see, Drew put in a link in the chat box to Android Central and how to remap your keys on your Chromebook.
Okay, great.
And then,
I did a video about that. I just can't remember what it was.
And then Jolin put a link to getting the
end of life list.
The end of life. Good. Okay. Or the AUEs.
Yeah.
And
it's the auto update policy, and then if you scroll down a bit, it has the list of approved devices, and then you can go to the various brand that you have and pick up like the Flip CX5. I'm good through June of 2029 on mine. So
yeah, and that's the one place you want to go to, especially if you're buying a on sale Chromebook, because it may be one that's an older model and it may have an end of life of maybe a year or so. You really need to double check that. We got a couple. Go ahead.
Can we do Chris? Because we're running out of time.
Yep.
Let's do Chris. Chris is waiting. Go ahead, Chris.
And then Linda.
Okay, this is quick. I'm getting very disappointed with Chromebooks because it's the Chromebook is becoming the exact reason I gave up Windows. And that is there's too many features all over and I'm an occasional user, so I want to be able to come down and not have to work it every day and remember where everything is. So so it's become a garbage pail full of features which are very difficult to easily find, and so I look to this Chromebook group as trying to create a path to all this minutia of features. And so to me, I'd like to see more work from more videos on what is on the screen, for example, different taskbars, how you put them up, how you take them down, as treated as one complete package rather than all these little features going here, could you for this, search here for that. I'd like to see it packaged a little bit better so the person who's an occasional user can easily get into it.
Give them feedback.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Chris. Linda, go ahead. Linda, can you hear me? You have your hand up?
We can't hear you.
Linda Jackson, go ahead.
She's got a bad connection.
Yeah, she got a microphone issue.
Sorry, Linda, we can't hear you.
You'll have to type it into the chat if you can.
Type it into the chat then. That would be the best. Dorothy, go ahead.
Just a quick question, or just one of the ones that was on sale at Costco, for example, for $3.49 is only good until June of 2024.
Exactly.
Really?
So don't buy it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just looking them up by the numbers.
That's not good at all.
No.
No. Huh. All right. Very good. Did Linda get her in the chat? Has anyone seen anything from Linda in the chat?
No, she's still trying to talk to us, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work because your connection's too slow.
Oh, her question is, how can she get one-on-one help?
One-on-one help.
Yes.
If she had a computer club, like what
Like
she needs
Alex.
is a Jawlin. She needs a Jawlin in her area, right?
Yeah.
Linda, where are you located? Type that into the mailbox.
Yeah.
Or into the chat box, I mean.
While she's doing that, so we'll be back in another month, and we'll hopefully be on Chrome OS 109 then. So we'll have a new version for you. Although it may or may not, we may or may not have a lot of new features depending, since these updates are coming out quite frequently. My video will be up on Tech for Senior webpage soon. And we'll get this video out soon as well, right? Right, Huey?
Yep. Linda's in Texas.
Yeah, and I just gave her my email and phone number. She can give me a call, and I can,
Okay.
how well
Thanks,
I can.
John.
Wow.
Great.
It's what I do.
Thank
It's what I am. So
Thank
yeah.
you.
If she sees that, excellent. She can give me but I'm in South Carolina, so we can't meet face to face, but we can talk on the phone. And Bill's got, regarding AU, he was helping a family member with a Chromebook issue a few months after their Chromebook stopped updating, that could no longer access their banking website. Turns out the banking system requires the latest version. Something to consider if you have an out-of-date end-of-life Chromebook.
Yeah.
Where you are going online, they know a lot about your system because of cookies, and you've been on there and you've logged on, and so it's important to have an up-to-date version.
Good point. All right, it's now 3 minutes past the hour. I think we have to say goodbye.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to charge overtime.
That's right. All right. Well, have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
We'll see you in a month's time. All right. Okay, then. All right. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.